It's been 12 years, a dozen long years, since my world in New York City went completely sideways. Looking back, I can see how much my whole vibe changed then. I remember when Sarah and I had what felt like a perfect marriage. College sweethearts, head over heels, rings on our fingers right after graduation. I was the college jock, football and baseball. She was brilliant and beautiful, the kind of woman who turned heads. We were a team, doing everything together. Parties, weekend trips, facing life's curveballs side by side. We weathered family crises, health scares, even Sarah's cancer battle, and my heart thing. Partners, truly, in every sense of the word. Our love? It just grew stronger as our careers took off. Bigger house in the suburbs, Dream Lake house upstate. Kids laughing, memories piling up. Even with the crazy schedules, we always made time for us. Always planning for the future, college funds, debt paid off years before the cracks started to show. We were always on the go. Vacations, camping, date nights in the city, bowling with friends. Life was full, but we never let our love get lost in the shuffle. We worked at it, consciously, and it paid off. Sure, we had our disagreements, every couple does, but we talked it out, always with respect, never yelling, always a team. It was a partnership that brought us so much joy, so much life. Thinking about it now, our happiness was built on effort, on sheer will and commitment. Sarah would have said the same. Our love was solid, unbreakable, or so I thought. Our kids, David and Emily, 2 years apart, they were the bright spots, the center of everything. Their lives, their laughter, just filled our home. Watching them grow, start their own families, that just added another layer of happiness. David, my mini-me, the athlete, coaches and I guiding him. Baseball scholarship, the whole dream. Emily, choir, cheerleading. Even as a kid she had this maturity, this poise that blew me away. Daddy's girl, that was Emily. But then, those teenage years hit, and something shifted. She pulled away, and no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't reach her. It hurt, a deep ache, but I knew underneath it all, she still loved me. Thank God, that phase didn't last forever. Slowly, we found our way back to each other, became close again. I'll never forget the pride swelling in my chest at her high school graduation, our marriage. It was a fairy tale, or so it felt until it wasn't. I tried everything to keep the spark alive, the romance burning. Gifts, trips, weekends away, pouring on the compliments, trying new things, anything to recapture what we had. I even started hitting the gym harder, trying to look younger, thinking maybe that was it, maybe I'd lost my edge. But it was like chasing smoke. The harder I tried, the more distant Sarah became. A cold dread started to creep in. Then came the words, the ones that shattered everything. I want a divorce. My world just imploded. How? What happened? The shock, the confusion. It was overwhelming, not just for me, but for David and Emily too. I could hear the pain in my own voice, even then, replaying it in my head now. It's like it's still seeping through. Losing Sarah, losing that life. It was a pain I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. The fear, the uncertainty, what was happening to us, to our family, It was in every question I asked, every word I spoke. One night I sat her down. "Sarah, what's going on?" At first, the brush off. "Just tired, work stress, nothing to worry about." But I knew her too well. I pushed, gently, persistently, until she finally broke. Tears streaming down her face, she confessed she'd been feeling disconnected for a while, unsure if she was even happy anymore. Stunned. I was completely blindsided. I had no idea she was carrying this weight, this doubt. "What can I do? Tell me, what can I fix?" I begged. But she didn't know, just that something had to change. The next few weeks, I threw myself into saving us. Romantic dinners in the village, surprise flowers, little notes, actually listening, really listening when she talked. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, she started to respond. A smile here, a laugh there. We started talking again, sharing dreams, even tackling problems, like we used to, as a team. I tried everything I could think of, poured my heart into it. But nothing seemed to stick. The desperation in my voice, even now, remembering it, it's still there, raw, heartbreaking. I knew deep down I was losing her, and I was powerless to stop it. I couldn't even bring myself to ask the question, "Do you still love me?" The emotional chasm between us was that wide. The idea of another man, of someone else being the reason, didn't even cross my mind until a coffee with her best friend, Jessica. Even then, I pushed it away. Denial was a strong drug. Loss of appetite, nights of no sleep, constant crying jags. I was watching my life crumble, piece by agonizing piece, and I was helpless to stop it, drowning in despair. No lifeline, no way out. I remember lying on the floor for hours, staring at the ceiling, our old golden retriever Buster, his head on my chest. That dog, he was my anchor in the storm. Even then, in the darkest moments, there was comfort, solace. He sensed my pain, that old dog, and just stayed there, solid, present. I loved Sarah, fiercely, deeply, would have done anything to save our marriage. Feeling so helpless, so out of control, it just showed how much she meant to me. It was a tragedy unfolding, a love story gone wrong, a marriage fracturing, leaving me to pick up the shattered pieces. Recounting it now, even after all this time, I feel this wave of empathy for that man, for myself. The pain, the loss, it was immense. Losing Sarah felt like this relentless tide crashing over me day after day. Each morning, a battle just to get out of bed without her beside me. All the love, the time, the effort, suddenly feeling futile, meaningless. Despite everything I did, I couldn't bridge the gap, couldn't mend what was broken. Divorce, inevitable, bitter. I couldn't face losing her completely, even as a friend. The thought was devastating. Feeling like a failure as a husband, unable to meet her needs, incapable of holding on to our marriage. The pain lingered, a constant ache, but even in the midst of it, we stayed civil, respectful, determined at least not to inflict more pain, more damage, dividing everything, the house, the lake house, the life we'd built together. Bittersweet doesn't even begin to cover it. We'd worked so hard, side by side, to create this life, this beautiful home, and now it was being split, sold. Memories etched into every corner, every room. They'd always be a part of me, but the thought of going back there, without her, intolerable. Signing the papers, finality hitting like a punch to the gut. I saw the tears in her eyes, too. She was hurting. I knew she was, just as much as I was. It felt like a final goodbye, a piece of my heart being ripped out. The pain of losing a partner after so long, it's a scar that time might fade, but it's always there, underneath. Amidst the hurt, the heartbreak, I clung to the good times, the love we once shared, trying to find some sliver of comfort in the wreckage. Watching Emily get married years later, bittersweet doesn't even touch it. That pang, that mix of joy and sadness, no parent escapes it. My little girl, getting married, starting her own life. Joyous, yes, but a deep ache in my heart, a sense of loss, of time passing, of everything changing. Then, that magical moment. Emily coming to sit beside me, head on my shoulder, just like when she was little, talking, laughing, remembering old times. A beautiful moment, etched in my memory forever. Later, sipping scotch by the fireplace, the flames dancing, a wave of gratitude washed over me. Thankful for Emily, for her fiancé, for David, for my friends, for the love surrounding me. Even with the divorce still a raw wound, healing slowly, I knew I had to keep moving forward, find happiness where I could. In that moment, surrounded by warmth, by love, I felt content. Everything was going to be okay. No matter what came next, I had my family, their love, their support. Later that night, Emily and I, deeper conversation, more serious territory. Then she brought it up. The divorce. Something we'd never really talked about. Not really, beyond the logistics, the arrangements. This time, we went deeper, into the emotions, the why. I asked her, point blank, now a grown woman, what it was like growing up with me. Acknowledged I wasn't perfect, never claimed to be. Risky question, maybe, but I needed to know, especially after everything. To my surprise, she opened up, said sometimes I could be intense, high expectations. They all worried about disappointing me. But then she said, she knew, they all knew. I loved them, fiercely, protected them, would always be there. She even giggled, remembering. Sergeant Dad, they used to call me. The Sergeant. I admitted I wasn't always the most emotionally open guy, but reassured her the love was always there, even if I didn't always show it in the best way. Then she said something that stopped me cold. She hoped her husband would be as good a husband and father as I was. And then, I just wish you could find someone who makes you happy and who doesn't cheat like Mom. The words hit me like a physical blow. Cheat? Emily thought I knew? She knew about Sarah's infidelity before the divorce and just assumed I was in the loop. Disbelief washed over me. Washed. Emily. What are you talking about? Why hadn't she told me? She explained. She thought I knew more than she did. That's why I divorced Mom. Said it was a tough time for her, for all of them, and she'd avoided the topic, just checking in, making sure I was okay. I hugged her tight, thanked her for being there, for her honesty, her love. Always my little girl. When did it happen? How long? I asked, voice shaking. She didn't know for sure, guessed a month or so before Mom first mentioned divorce. David knew too, she confirmed. He'd done some digging online, social media, suspected something was up. My kids. So perceptive. It all clicked. Why they'd been so cold to Sarah, so sympathetic to me during the whole ordeal. I hugged Emily again, tighter, grateful for her honesty, for her love. She was the only thing making sense in my life at that moment. Holding her close, I knew I had to be strong. For her, for David, they were the reasons to keep going, to keep breathing. Sarah's betrayal, it changed everything. How I saw her, myself, the world, felt like a part of me had died, leaving me lost, directionless. Just knew I had to keep moving. One step at a time, that's all. The affair, exposed, a pivotal moment. Until then, I'd been striving for civility, for some semblance of grace in the divorce. Now, uncertainty clouded everything. Racing thoughts, sleepless nights. Looking back, I remembered changes. Sarah's sudden focus on herself, more frequent salon visits, nails always perfect, nicer clothes, spending more time on her makeup. Initially, I'd chalked it up to work, trying to keep up with younger colleagues. Now, it was clear. Preparation. For him. The truth, stark and brutal. Sarah had already found someone else. Another man. Rejection. Already a bitter pill. Betrayal that cut deeper, shattered everything all over again. Emily showed me his Facebook page, other online profiles. David Miller, executive at one of Sarah's biggest accounts. His posts, no names, but clearly infatuated with someone who sounded exactly like Sarah. Emily, bless her heart, tried to downplay it. He's not even that good-looking, Dad. But seeing Sarah with someone else, any someone else, it was gut-wrenching. I cut off all contact with Sarah, cold turkey, ignored texts, calls, even avoided her friends. Jessica, her best friend, never reached out, which made me wonder, had she known all along? One night, anger boiling over, hurt a gaping wound, I drove to Sarah's new place, the condo downtown. Rage fueled me. I broke in, intent on destruction, smashed her things, ripped clothes, poured bleach, defaced family photos, memories we'd made, now defiled, destroyed. I wanted her to feel it, the pain, the betrayal, the devastation I felt. Mid-rampage, she walked in, expecting fury, maybe cops, sirens, chaos. Instead, she looked at me, sadness, pity even, in her eyes. Her reaction, it threw me. Expecting anger, bitterness, she offered compassion, understanding, asked for forgiveness, confessed she'd cheated, was too ashamed, too cowardly to tell me during the divorce. In that moment, the anger just drained away. I saw it then. Sarah had been suffering too. My actions, They'd only caused more pain, more damage. A week later, Emily's wedding. Sarah and I, both there. Still angry, still hurt. But I tried to focus on Emily, her day. Lost 20 pounds, stress and overdrive at the gym. Tailored tux felt good as I walked her down the aisle. Sarah, stunning, wearing that sapphire blue dress she knew I loved. Didn't say a word to her, still too raw, too angry. Pulled away when she reached for my hand during the vows. Made sure there was space between us in photos. Engaged with Emily, David, everyone but her. Reception, prearranged seating, thank God. Sat next to Emily. Sarah a few chairs down. Had to be brutal for her. Don't think she realized I knew about the affair yet. Father of the bride toast. Heartfelt, genuine. No mention of Sarah. As if she'd played no part in raising our incredible daughter. Father-daughter dance, tears in her eyes, avoided looking at her intentionally. Skipped the joint parent dance altogether. Rest of the evening, joy with Emily, David, new son-in-law, sidestepping Sarah successfully. Didn't see her leave, no idea how long she stayed. But every time I glanced her way, melancholy hung over her like a shroud. Challenging, yes, but I learned a lot about myself, my resilience, my ability to navigate the impossible. Not my proudest moments, maybe, but I did what I had to protect myself, my heart. Bit a pill, swallowed it whole. 28 years, and she chose him. During a difficult time, yes, but still. But I've come a long way since then. Counselor was right. Had to adapt to living alone, rediscover myself, my purpose. Hard at first, brutally hard. But the pain, it's faded. Replaced it with building a life, a face that truly reflects me. Turned the house into my haven, dream garage. Third bay for the Harley Softail, ATV. Riding, always a passion. Sarah never understood it, never let me have a bike. Now, freedom. Ride whenever I want, wherever I want. Kitchen, living room, modern upgrades. But the man cave, basement, that's my sanctuary. Top of the line sound, video, wet bar, gym. Everything I need to unwind. Recliner, classical music, old rock, cranked up loud. Sarah hated that. Never let me play it loud. Pure pleasure. House is the game day spot now. Friends, family, multiple games on at once. Sports bar vibe. Playroom for the grandkids. TV, toys. Love those moments, grandkids, David, Emily, their families, visiting all the time. Pumpkin carving party last week. Sarah would have loved it. Thinking about getting another dog for companionship, especially with the grandkids. Wood-burning furnace, remote, heat exchanger, heats the whole place, mostly from my own timber. Cost-effective. Keeps me busy in the winter. Painful journey, yes, but thankful. Chance to rebuild, create a home I love. New passions, time with loved ones. New memories being made. 12 years since Sarah walked out for him. Accepted it. She chose him over us. Over 28 years. Painful at first, counselor predicted it. Learned to live alone, redefine my life. Dream house, Harley, ATV, man cave, playroom. Hosting events, pumpkin carving, joy. Dog maybe. Dating life. Single again, surprising. Friends' wives early on, setups, resisted at first. 2 years later, kids pushed for a double date. Awkward at first, but now, dating several amazing women. Dating in my 50s, early 60s, different game. Smart, attractive, unattached women, my age. Younger, looking for attention from a relatively healthy guy. Don't need to be a rock star. Respectful, attentive, confident, fun. That's the key. Honest from the start. No wife-seeking, no exclusivity. Cautious, selective. No married women, no one-night stands. Genuine liking, fun, good company, reciprocation, essential. Concerts, ball games, camping, cookouts, dinner theater, before getting too close. Non-exclusivity, no jealousy, no possessiveness, adjustment. Can't control anyone. That's okay. Part of the deal. Enjoy dating. No pressure. Refreshing. For me, for them. Something more develops naturally. Great. No pressure. No seduction. Long-time lady friends. Never been close. That's okay too. Living my best life. Grateful. Private pilot, years. Small experimental plane. Sarah never shared the passion. Invited each of my lady friends for fly-ins, short trips. Breakfast, lunch runs on the Harley, 110 hamburger runs. Each woman, her own passions. Climbed Mount Baker, months of training. Scuba certified, open water, skydiving, tandem, surprisingly fun. Opera with one, surprisingly enjoyable. Wedding crashing, city parks, mingling, enjoying the party, contributing to the collection. 100 in the jar, money tree. Spend time with these women, yes. Home alone often, too. Cuddling on the couch, Netflix, their music. They push me, try new things. Wedding crasher, whole package, still struggle with wanting exclusivity. Can't go there. Pre-COVID, 7-day cruise. 3 attractive women. Dated one before, others new. Fun, flirty, laughter, excursions, dancing, partying every night. Best vacation maybe ever, except for kid trips, pre-teen years. Cruise line rep approached me at the end. Future cruises, unbelievable discounts. Need older single men, dance, interact with single ladies, widows. Flattering, gigolo vibe. Living my best life, yes. Sarah? Maybe not so much. Heard her relationship with David Miller lasted 3 years. Didn't dig for details. Don't care if they live together. Not my concern. Started responding to her texts, emails 5 years ago. For the kids. Communication, kids, grandkids, pictures. Sarah wants to talk divorce, affair, questions I might have. No interest, see no point. Ignore those emails. Weddings, funerals, polite greetings. Grandson's christening. Last real conversation. Still attractive, but older. We all are. 2 hours, kids. Memories. Mourn the marriage sometimes, yes. Golden years, undeniably. How long? Uncertain. Sarah and I, committed to supporting each other. Aging. Mother of my kids, grandmother of my grandkids, 28 years married. HIPAA, medical directives for each other. No longer a couple, but still. Emily says I'm more content, easygoing. Retirement last year. No job stress, office politics. Huge difference. Golden years, truly. Grateful for this freedom. Old photos, places, memories. Still sting sometimes. Sarah invited me to dinner. Her condo. Date even. Emily mentioned it too. Sarah single. Years. Why now? Intrigued. Cautious. Collective effort. Doubt it. Trust Emily. Content with my life. Single. Dating. Whatever. Cherished married life with Sarah. Appreciate single life now. Life goes on. Won't be alone in my old age. Regardless, reunite with Sarah? Who knows?